I left Poland in '79 after, that was about 4 months after being ordained priest in the Society of the Divine Word. It was still under the communist government at that time, and I went to Ireland to study English because English was not a language that was taught in my country. So I was assigned as a missionary to Papua New Guinea. So I had to go first to Ireland, where I studied English. And then in 1980, I traveled via Australia to Papua New Guinea, and I began my mission life there in the jungles on the north coast of Papua New Guinea in the Diocese of Wewak. So it was a real time of adventure for me in one way. Yeah. On the other hand, it was a land of the unexpected, not knowing what to, although I read a lot and listened to stories of missionaries who came for holidays while I was in the seminary, but yet the reality was, quite different from the way I imagined it to be. And it was a quite challenging time in the beginning. I was sent into the jungle by a small plane, and there I spent my first 4 months with a German missionary who had been working there already for 10 years. So I was living there, trying to learn the language, because after learning English, there I came and starting from the scratch again to learn Pidgin English.
Different language.
And also to get known the people, to accustom the people and to the people, and somehow to be able to settle down and find my footing in a new culture, in a new place with new people around. No? And it was a very, very, I would say, enriching time for me, because it widened my horizons very much. No? I became much more aware of my own background, of the culture, that while you live in your own country, you take it for granted. You don't reflect on it. Only when you are then challenged by a different culture, then you start comparing, no? Yeah. So I looked back at my church there, and I saw how different the church in Papua New Guinea was from the church where I was to live and minister in. And I also realized how different the practice of working in a church, of serving in a parish, was from what I learned in the seminary, where everything was black and white, and you do all this and that. That's the right way, that is the wrong way. And then I come to a situation where things are far from what I even expected. And okay, so sometimes it was a challenge to my faith, is it really what I learned? Is it really my faith or something? But once I was able to overcome my own limitations, to expand, it became a new adventure and new horizons opened. No? And I have great respect to my introducer, the German missionary who was there, because whatever was new to me or challenged me, I usually didn't agree with it in the first place. But we used to sit down in our presbytery where there was no electricity at night and so on, so just with a kerosene lamp, we spent sometimes the whole night talking, discussing, no? Yeah. I was questioning him or accusing sometimes, why doesn't he do it in a proper way? The way I learned it, no? Yeah. And the way he learned it most probably in his seminary. Mm-hmm. But, that helped me to understand how things can be done in a different way and also done in a right way, no? After 30 years there, I arrived in New Guinea. When I arrived in Australia, I was assigned to Alice Springs. And in 2011, I became parish priest in Alice Springs. So we had an SVD, Divine Word Missionary team there, and our main reason to be there was our ministry to the Aboriginal people, especially the Aranda people. So I was the parish priest of the town parish, But then there were other confreres, my brothers, who were missioned especially with caring for the Aboriginal communities. So, but we took turns and we went out sometimes. Usually, our regular visits were to about 300 kilometers out of Alice Springs, but some communities or some families were out as far as 700 kilometers from Alice Springs, so we used to go around to visit them. The first challenge was the climate. Coming from a jungle, rainy forest to the desert, no? I was surprised with how the desert looked like, because in my mind a desert was just sandy, no? Just sand and nothing else. And then when I came there, well, there were a lot of gum trees, there were a lot of shrubs, and the jungle, the desert, especially after some rain, looked beautiful in colors when the little flowers started blossoming. No? So it was this. The community was wonderful there in Alice Springs because of the isolation, most probably, no? The township was like one big community. And there were many denominations, people belonging to different churches, but we were all one community and close to one another. No? So that was a surprise, a very positive surprise to me, and I felt very accepted there. No? And also multicultural community in the Catholic Church. Yeah, in Alice Springs, after 4 years, I was assigned to Nhulunbuy, Gove, in Arnhem Land. For some time there was no resident priest there. I volunteered to go there once to help, for a weekend, because priests were flying in from Darwin there once in a month or so, to have mass in Gove and on Groot Island, which was part of the same parish. And the priest who had been there, he died, and he was also serving in New Guinea, so there was some connection there. So after being there, after going there once, I felt sorry for the people being so isolated, the Catholic community without a priest, so I made myself available to go there. So I was assigned there, and I spent 2 years in Nhulunbuy, yeah. After 2 years, yes, I was asked by a provincial leader to consider coming to Preston in Melbourne. It was kind of, unsuspected call, but there was a need here for a priest to serve in the city parish at Sacred Heart in Preston, no? So first it was, to me, I needed some time to not so much think about it, but to assimilate it somehow, no? Because actually, I make myself available where I'm needed. So if I'm needed elsewhere, so I go, no? But it was a challenge, and also in my age and not having any experience of city life or ministering in a city parish, well, I was a little bit, afraid of taking up this ministry. And knowing that not having much preparation, I come into a role of a parish priest in a city, so which was an additional challenge for me. But I had so many experiences in my past life already, so many contrasting appointments from parish to lay formation in New Guinea, working for the Bishops' Conference, to the administration of the Divine Word missionaries in Papua New Guinea, having exposure in the Philippines, in Samoa. So I thought, well, with God's grace, it always worked out well in the past. I trust God that it will also work out for me here. So I find myself in the city here now. That was first days when I arrived, I couldn't sleep because of the traffic noise at night, and then after some time when I got used to the cars, I still would wake up when the siren goes on, when the fire brigade or police goes around, but this now it's already routine for me, no. But I found here a very welcoming and accepting parish, but also very challenging. No, city life, it's more hectic. There is more following time, no, and from this time to this time, and you have a lot of activities. Whereas in New Guinea and in Arnhem Land, maybe two, no, you have one activity in a day. So you start when people come and you finish when you finish. And here it's different lifestyle, no. So, but there are a lot of good people around who support me in my work and help me a lot. And somehow I have found my footing here.